Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Wednesday, August 11th. We had CPI this morning. An interesting number, 5.4%. Expectation was closer to 5.5. Last month was 5.4. Is that a sign that maybe we're going to start to move lower? I don't know. Probably not. I've been looking into a lot of what's going on there. I find this a very interesting topic, right? We've heard about inflation for years and years and years, and really it's never been much of a concern until here as of late. We're seeing a lot going on. We're seeing labor shortages. So there are more jobs out there than people looking for jobs. You've got the stock markets continuing to rally higher. We talked about this idea of the melt up yesterday in Coach's Playbook. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check that one out. There's a lot happening around the world right now that could lead to continuous big opportunity. Today, to me, was a great opportunistic day. Markets, especially these equity markets, we opened up away from settlement price. Both S&Ps and Nasdaq, both those worked right down and Nasdaq through. And we're going to take a look at where we saw Nasdaq going and some of the opportunities we saw there. I'll even talk about some of the stuff I've done today. You got S&P breaking right down beautifully to that settlement price, closing the gap, and it really set us up nicely this morning, right? We watched it at 8:30 start to break, and then we had a little bit of a pullback, but we continuously made lower highs. That's saying we're failing to continue on in the direction we're going post CPI number. That market finally broke right down to settlement price. In my opinion, great opportunity for a short to run that thing lower, right down to settlement price, lock in approximately, let's just say 10, 12 points. So great trade there. Crude oil. So last month we had a boost of about 3.5 million, or last week, about 3.5 billion barrels. Today was a draw. Not by a whole lot. I think it was 0.6 million barrels. I'll take a look at that here just shortly. You've got gold, volatile off the CPI number, but it continued in the direction it was going. We got a little choppy for a short bit, but continue on to the upward direction. And the same goes for the euro. Euro actually gave us a great chance to go direction. Right around the equity open, we started to see a small little sell-off there. It ended up pulling right back, rallying right back up. So we found the weakness. We take the trend higher there. And lastly, the 10-year note. Just like the others, CPI, volatile moment, worked its way to settlement price, chopped all day around settlement price. And as we approached the afternoon, we got a little pop. We closed the gap up to Monday's settlement price, finally. We did it yesterday in the open, but we closed that gap up there and once again broke right back down to yesterday's settlement price. So some good opportunities across the board. As it relates to the news front, there's not a whole lot for us to really touch on right now. We've talked about labor shortages. We have this infrastructure bill going through, raising taxes possibly for the wealthy, $3.5 trillion package. So that's a big one. We'll pay attention to that. See how this thing goes through. If there's changes to come to it, what's going to be involved in this? This one's kind of interesting. I got a pop up here. Dow rises 220 points to new record after inflation report is not as bad as feared. Gotta love how you can spin the words of a title to make it, a little clicky. Or clickbaity, 5.4 or 5.5%. Not a huge difference there. 5.4 is still not a good number as it relates to inflation. Cost of goods skyrocketed, right? I saw a list and I meant to save it while I'm sitting here. I'm going to see if I can pull it up really quickly, if I can find it, because it talked about percentages on this inflation number. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. No. Who I thought had posted it, I can't find it there. I'll see if I can look into this tomorrow because I think it'll be pretty interesting. I think rental cars up almost 100%. There are some major increases in a select few products or services out there that really are cranking this inflation up. So hopefully y'all got a good raise this year, over 5.5%. That'd be nice, right? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these charts here and see what we've got going on today. But first, we'll say hello to everyone. George, good to see you. Brett, Tanya, stacking bananas. Hope you crushed it as well. Jimmy, good afternoon. Weird day in equities. We'll show you a couple things to look at there. Maybe there's some opportunity that you didn't see, but I do think we had some really nice setups in both S&P and the Nasdaq. I had fun with those today. So let's go ahead and take a look here and see if we can find some opportunities. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start out with our crude oil market settlement price. We blew through that bad boy this afternoon, but we got settlement price on this market at 68.29, 68. We're looking at the wrong one. Whoops. Get the right one up here. Actually, we got to shut that down. All right, 68.29. We got settlement price right up here. To me, great opportunity once this market opened up. Quick, volatile first half hour. And from there, this market really started to make the directional move. We had our EIA petroleum status report at 9:30 this morning. A little bit of a draw. So we're pulling supply out of the marketplace. When you remove the supply, demand should increase. When demand increases, what happens? Price increases. And that's what happened here. Market rallied right up, just shy of settlement price. And this is where we get our opportunity. This, to me, is where opportunity is created. We miss the number. We sit on our hands until that number comes out because you never know. You don't want to be in this thing stuck on a number. We get a little bit of a breakdown, and this is where we're starting to look for some sort of a chance to get in on directional move based off of fundamentals. If we try to get in right at 9:30, what's going to happen? The first thing you have the emotion. Emotion's going to send this thing all over the place. It's very common that I see after a number happens, you see the big spike or the big break. Markets all over the place. You think the move is on. It tends to resolve right back to unchange, and then the market gets back to doing what it was doing, and that's exactly what we had. Right at 9:30 this morning, market rolled right back to it, right here, approximately 67.70. Market held right there, did not accept below that. That's telling me, all right, trend's on. We've been maintaining trend to the upside over the last couple days. Let's look for that trend to continue here today, and that's exactly what we got. Great opportunity right around that 70 mark, all the way up, almost $2, about $1.50 there. Good opportunity there. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. So you've got settlement price down below at 44.30. 44.30 is our settlement price. Market opened up away from settlement. So, Jimmy, I'm going to show you something here. One of my favorite setups and my favorite trades is if we've got settlement price. So let's go ahead and slap on settlement price right here. I don't know if it will let me. It doesn't want to let me find it there. So if we go right back to where market settled yesterday's point of control, ignore this overnight session. Let's just strictly look at regular trading hours. One of the key things that we're looking for the market to do is come check point of control during regular trading hours. Prior day points of control tends to be a strong magnet. There are two major magnets that I'm looking for in each and every day: settlement price and prior day point of control. When the two are aligned this smoothly with each other, I am looking for every chance for that market to move to it. So, Jimmy, my first setup every single morning on market open, I'm looking at where is the market currently trading. Are we trading away from settlement? And I'm looking at it only binary, right? Ones and zeros. Am I on settlement price or within a very close range of settlement? Or am I away from settlement price? If I am on settlement, hey, maybe there's an opportunity for the market to move one way or the other. I'm still pretty hesitant and patient. If we open up away from settlement price, the first thing I'm looking at is I'm watching that initial open, that first few minutes. If I don't get continuation in the direction it is going, I am looking for that market to revert right back to settlement price. We opened up, we did not make a new high. Everything here is screaming to me, Dan, sell the heck out of this thing right down to settlement price, which again, yesterday's point of control. We roll right to settlement price, to the stinking tick. Great opportunity for a trade. So settlement price for me is always going to be one of two things: profit or an entry, an area for opportunity, whether I'm locking in my profits there or I'm looking to execute a trade there. This set up extremely well for us, so I think this was probably one of the nicest setups we had here today. Next, let's go ahead and look at the Nasdaq. All right, NQ. A little bit of a down day yesterday, and no change here, right? And I'm going to just put this on here as well, just so we have the visual. Settlement price here today in this market was 15,044 half. 15,044 half. Where are we at? 44 half approximately. Right there, today's value area high. So this market as well, ignoring the trade in the overnight session, this market opens up away from settlement price. Now, as we know, if you are a Nasdaq trader, you know Nasdaq is a much more volatile product. It can shake you out pretty quickly, right? We roll this over at 97. We have a 20 handle bounce. That's a lot of risk, right? We're watching this, but to me, this is still not accepting anything up above. We tested it very quick. I don't know if you guys were watching this right off the open, but this was a very quick pop and the broke happened extremely fast. This market started to rotate lower. So I had 3 points that I was looking at down below in this market as I was taking my shorts. I actually took a couple on the way down. My first exit point was settlement price. You guys know me, I'm looking at that. Then I'm looking, if I'm going to continue on down, I have 1530 down to 15,030 down to 15, down right to 75 was where I was going below that. I'm looking at that overnight swing low, and that's where this market started to bottom out. So we had a nice opportunity to let this winner run, but nothing wrong locking in those profits at settlement price and calling it a day. That's a pretty darn good trade. If you're catching that short up by 96 and you're running that thing down to settles, down at 45, hard to argue with the 50-point winner there. Next, let's go ahead and look at the gold. Like we said, gold continued on its little trend from the overnight session. And here's what I loved. Equity open. What did we see off the open? Equities broke really hard and rotated right back towards settlement price. Gold quickly sold off as that equity market opened. But as soon as equity started to rotate over, what does that tell us what's going to happen with gold? Fundamentally, it's not always the case, but they are inversely proportionate. So an inversely proportionate market, if equities are making daily highs as this market's moving lower, and then the equities start to roll over, we look for gold to start to rally higher. And that's exactly what we got. So this, to me, was our trade here. We found a little bit of weakness in a market that is nicely trending to the upside. We know this market has pretty much bottomed out right here around 1725, and we've been making some really nice directional moves to the upside. Now, when we look at the euro just like gold, inversely proportionate equity market here. Market rotates over as equities are making session highs. As soon as we opened up and equities started to break down a little bit, you saw this market start to pop after a little bit of a sell-off. So we're looking once again. We have broken. This is what I want. Another thing I want to make sure everyone's aware of. When we look at this, we are seeing this market trading, and this is a very crudely drawn channel, just so we can have a little bit of a visual here to pay attention to. We have been trading within a little bit of a channel here. This market finally accepted outside of said channel. We could tighten it up too, just so we have a better visual here. I'm just trying to point out what I like to do when I look at these markets. I'm strictly setting up channels. I'm looking to fade extremes. So if I'm looking at this market and I start to show acceptance outside of channel, I'm looking for market state to adjust. We're looking for a little bit of a change. We're looking for things to maybe shift directions. We've traded outside of this channel that we've been in for the last 3 full trading days. Today we broke outside, so now I'm looking to continue in on that directional move. Now, lastly, let's take a look at the 10-year note, and we'll call it a day. Like we said, 10-year note got moving here today. Settlement price is 133.17 half. 133.17 half, which happens to be today's point of control. Funny how those things work out, right? We're always watching that settlement price. It's a popularly traded price, and everyone's P&Ls from yesterday and their positions from yesterday are based off of this settlement price for those that are maintaining positions and not closing out. So that's what their settlement, where their P&Ls are based off of. CPI comes through. Market pops right to settlement price, yesterday's point of control as well, which, again, what are we always looking for? Points of control to be checked within regular trading hours. Market breaks through that price. And then we got really choppy. Worked its way sideways. Really was digesting information. So you know there's a lot of actions probably in the options world right around this price and trading around those yields. Market, once again, we had a nice little move off a settlement price up to yesterday's regular trading hour high. A little bit through there. And this thing has since started to roll back over. And those are our markets here today. I hope you guys have found some good opportunity. Like I said, I think today was great opportunities with very simple strategy. Closing gaps to settlement price, watching reaction right around settlement price. A lot of these markets, you don't see it. You didn't see it in gold or euro. But the others, we found some really good opportunity, in my opinion. Crude closed the gap to settlement price, moved right through there nicely. S&P, Nasdaq closed that gap right to settlement price, and as did the 10-year note. So, good opportunity, and I can't argue it. I love settlement price. I'm always looking for that chance, and I won't deny that one. I will tell you when it doesn't work, and there are times that I lose on those trades as well, but that has been a very consistent trade for me, and I have no problem sharing that setup. I think it's one of my best setups that I use. How you get into it and when you choose to execute that takes time. You got to learn how these markets react off those off the open, watching that order flow, getting an idea of where the price is coming in, where are the buyers, where are the sellers. Is this market going to be an inside day? Is it going to roll back over, or are we off to the races and this thing's continuing the trend and has no chance of looking back? Those are things you just got to start paying attention to when that opens up away. And the more time in front of the screen, the more time watching that, the better you'll get with that one. And Jimmy, you can find settlement price on any quote board on any platform. It's always a tab that you can add into it. You can also find it right on the CME Group's website, as well as John will touch on those every single morning on the market forecast here at 8 a.m. Central Time every single day, every single weekday. So opportunity was there, and I hope you guys had a good chance finding some of those trades. So today, it was 0.4, a draw of 0.4 million barrels. I think I said 0.6. It was 0.4 there, just to correct myself. Tomorrow, you got jobless claims, 7:30 a.m. Central Time, and PPI final at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Other than that, you're going to have a 30-year bond auction, for those of you trading the 30-year, at noon Central Time. Other than that, pretty quiet day on the economic calendar front. Now, let's take a look at some of our stocks here. GameStop's giving us a chance. Making a little money back in that one, $158.78. You got Airbnb, or excuse me, I said GameStop. I meant Airbnb, $148. So we got money there. GameStop is the one at $158.78. Tesla holding pretty strong, up above $700 at $707. You got the VIX. Well, if stocks are up, VIX should be. Yep, you guessed it. VIX is down to 16. We had a little pop on the break this morning, but it has rolled over, and we were tested actually even below 16 today. I think that's the first time in a while I've seen that one. And lastly, Robinhood stock. Remember the other day bumped over $70. It's turned over a little bit, but still, those of you in at that IPO price right around $38, you got some good money in this one. $51.19 there. And lastly, this date in history. First one, because it's been in so many movies. In 1934, Alcatraz, the prison out in San Francisco Bay, opened up and started bringing in residents. We'll call it that. We've got one other one, and I'll get on out of here. This one's an unfortunate one. In 2014, we lost actor Robin Williams. So maybe on that note, go watch a good Robin Williams movie this evening. Dead Poets Society, to something that will make you laugh. So there's plenty of them out there. I hope you guys all have a great day. John will be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time with the market forecast. So until then, stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, and trade well. Oh, and one last thing, I just want to shout out to Hogue. Hogue, thank you for filling me in for me yesterday. We got my sister all moved into her new home. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Take care.